You're probably watching this video because you're either looking at going to Miami or you've already booked your tickets. Now, I'm going to be recommending the top 10 things that you should do when you go out there. A little bit of tips and tricks when you go to these places as well, but let's just get into it. Now, at number 10, we have Wynwood. Now, Wynwood, it's not going to appeal to all people. And the reason for this is because it's an art district. There's a lot of graffiti everywhere. And if you're not into art or graffiti, this district is not for you. And especially if you're there for a short time, I'd prioritize other things that I will mention in this video. For me, myself personally, I'm not really into art. I'm not really into all that kind of stuff. If I go on holiday, I don't really visit too many museums unless that museum appeals to me. That's just me personally. So if you're not into art, you're not into graffiti, then don't bother going there during the day. The only reason why this has found my list is because the nightlife over there, especially if you're into Latin culture or if you're into reggaeton, the clubs over there are really, really good. There's a club called Perro Negro. It's very, very popular in Colombia. If you've gone to Colombia before, you might know about this. But now they have one in Miami, and yeah, I'd highly, highly recommend that club. It's $40 entry, but you'll have a good time. You will definitely have a good time. So in at number 9, we have Little Havana. Now, Little Havana is a small district. It's very Cuban cultured. People playing music there. You see Cuban cars going by. Obviously, it's not Cuba, but specifically what I'd recommend you do in Little Havana is grab lunch or dinner, because the food is very, very good. And it's probably the cheapest food you'll get in the whole of Miami, and the portions are big as well. I think I paid $25 for a steak, a beer, and that's with the service charge and tips and taxes all included. And if you've been to America before, you'll know how crazy the taxes, the service charges are. So $25 to $30 per person is a really, really reasonably, like, it's a good price. It's a good price to go get food. And yeah, if you want to grab food, definitely recommend it. And at the same time, if you do visit there, it's like a 10-minute drive away from Wynwood, so you might as well see that at the same time. Again, if you're limited on time, it's one of those places where it's like you don't have to see it, you know what I mean? It's not like a must, but it is a cool place to see if you're there for a lot longer. So in at number 8, we have Brickell, and I'm not gonna lie, this is a must visit. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty hard to miss. Now, if you're staying in South Beach, I'll definitely recommend getting an Uber there. I mean, there are buses that go to Brickell as well. Go to the shopping center, even if you're not looking to buy anything. It is really, really scenic over there. I mean, it's hard to miss it as well. But yeah, just get yourself like a cold drink. I mean, you probably will want to get yourself a cold drink over there anyway. Miami is hot all year round. But one more thing about Brickell as well is if you're visiting there, make sure you walk by the river, because it is so scenic over there. It's great for photos. It's nice for like a little stroll as well, just to spend a bit of time. You got skyscrapers everywhere. You'll truly feel like you're in America. Plus you got yachts everywhere as well. So it kind of did remind me of when I lived in Dubai for a little while. Yeah, definitely walk beside the river. It's nice day and night. And it also leads on to my next point for number 7. And at number 7, we have Bayside Marketplace. Now, if you're walking beside the river and you keep following that along, you'll reach Bayside Marketplace. And Bayside Marketplace it's beautiful. You got a harbor over there, you got a Ferris wheel. Now, I'm not gonna lie, it is a massive tourist trap, because you'll be paying about $30 for a cocktail, maybe even more than that. It's probably the second biggest tourist trap behind Ocean Drive. Now, Ocean Drive I'll get into a little bit later, but you will have a great time. It's definitely one of the top things to see in Miami. And of course, with anywhere that's really popular for tourists, that's where the prices go up. But again, lots to do there, lots to see. You won't be spending too much time here, I don't think, especially if you're just passing by and you don't want to like waste your money on like overpriced cocktails or food. But they also have a Ferris wheel over there. Now, the Ferris wheel I went on, it's about $20 pre-tax. You're paying about $24 after tax. Just be prepared. In America, you're going to be paying a lot of tax. And yeah, you get used to it after a little while. But obviously, me being from London, I ain't used to that kind of stuff. Obviously, the price that I've been, let's advertise as the price I'm looking to pay. I ain't looking to be paying these additional $4 here, $20 there, you know what I mean? So yeah, it's a little bit annoying about America, but you just get used to it. Just be prepared for it. Now, I've been on better Ferris wheels, I've seen better views, and I'd recommend maybe potentially going to like a rooftop bar if you get the chance, because you will get a better view in some rooftop bars. Because I feel like the Ferris wheel is a little bit like, it's just fun, you know? It's just something that, like, especially if you're traveling with a family and you've got a few kids, they would love that. But I feel like the price of that Ferris wheel is so overpriced for what you get. Now, I'm from London as well. When you go on to London Eye, the view's so much better than what you get on there. But again, make of that information as you will. But one thing I will say about Bayside Marketplace is if you're visiting here, a few honorable mentions: keep walking past, head towards Miami Heat Stadium, the Casella Center. It's especially if you're into basketball. It's obviously nice to see from the outside. The only thing that sucks is they don't do stadium tours, which is, it's kind of odd to me, especially being European. I don't know how it is in the rest of the states if they do stadium tours over there, but the only way you're ever going to see the inside of Miami Heat Stadium is if they've got a concert, if you're going there for the basketball. But then if you keep walking past Miami Heat Stadium, you then get the Perez Art Museum. Now again, if you're into arts, you can go inside. I ain't into art, I never went inside, but it is like a nice little walk in a park. Now at number 6, we have South Beach, Ocean Drive and all of that. Now, like I said, probably the biggest tourist trap in the whole of Miami, but it's where everyone stays, it's where everyone goes. So if you're there for a long time, I'd recommend the main place to stay in is probably South Beach. If you can get as close to Ocean Drive as possible, you definitely want to stay there. Now, if you're there for a short time and you're not really looking to sunbathe, then maybe stay in Brickell. But we were there for 2 weeks, so yeah, we wanted to enjoy a bit of sun, we wanted to sunbathe. You're coming to the sunshine capital of practically the world, so what else are you gonna do there? You're gonna go and sunbathe. So if you're there for a long time, go over there, go enjoy the beach, play a bit of beach volleyball. I would also recommend getting bikes, because you'll be paying about $8 for an hour to rent a bike, and you can literally cycle from South Beach all the way to North Beach, which would take you about, I think it took us about 40 minutes to get all the way to North Beach. And then we dropped our bikes off, then we were like, you know what, we're just gonna get an Uber back, see a little bit of North Beach as well at the same time. But the cycle up down the beach is really nice. I'd highly recommend that as well, especially if you're there for a while and you want to keep yourself active and fit. Watching the sunrise as well, I'd highly recommend that. Now the sunrise, it will rise from the ocean, it sets behind the city of course, but yeah, if you get the chance as well, when you like waking up early like myself, go see the sunrise, because the sunrise over there is absolutely beautiful. If you want to go sit in a restaurant, you're probably going to be paying a little bit, well, actually quite a bit more than Bayside Marketplace, so just be prepared for that. In at number 5, it's just party. Go crazy. You're in Miami, have a good time. They've got yacht parties over there, they've got pool parties, they've got nightclubs. Now we went to one yacht party, we went to 2 pool parties, and then we went to a few clubs, and obviously the biggest one being Live. And we went to go see Neo out there, which you can see right now. I'm not gonna lie, it's a little bit overrated, but then again, I'm saying the nightlife's overrated because I've gone to so many different places in the world. I've seen nightlife in so many areas. I used to live in Dubai as well, and in Dubai, if you go to a yacht party, you're paying for a yacht. Like it's about the same price, but you're actually going to be sat on a yacht. Whereas they advertise yacht parties as like these big on super yachts or whatever, and it's just a double-decker boat. You know what I mean? It's just a party boat, and yeah, cool, you're there for a good time, you're gonna have fun anyways, but I just don't like the fact that they advertise something as something and you don't get what they advertise it as. And then nightclubs as well are so overpriced as well, because we're paying like $100 entry for some of them. We paid $75 for Neo, and he came on for 15 minutes to perform, and then obviously that's it. I called it a day. But I will be making another video about the nightlife and other stuff. The pool parties I'd highly recommend. The day events as well, highly recommend. I had a great time over there, but then again, be prepared to spend like $15 on a small can of beer, $30 for a single with a mixer. Just be prepared for that. But yeah, you'll have a great time. At number 4, we have visiting all the beaches. Now Miami have so many different beaches. My personal favorites are Sunny Isles and Key Biscayne. Now of course, if you're there for a limited time, you won't be able to see all these beaches, but if you're staying in South Beach, don't just limit yourself to South Beach, because I feel like South Beach is one of those beaches where yes, it is lively, yes, you have Ocean Drive, but the beach itself ain't all that. You know what I mean? You're gonna want to travel to Sunny Isles, you're gonna want to travel to Key Biscayne, and if you've got the time as well, when you like to travel a little bit further, I've heard good things about Key West. Now I never went to Key West because it's about a 3 to 4 hour drive, and I've seen stuff similar in the Caribbean, but yeah, not really much else to say. Make sure you visit the beaches. Now number 3, we have take a boat. Now you can take a boat, like a ferry type boat with a lot of random people, and it will show you like the key areas, or you can take a private boat, which is what we did. Especially if you're in a big group, I'd recommend this, because you get a bottle of champagne, you have speakers, you go around for like 2 to 4 hours depending on how much you book it for or how long you book it for. You get to see all the millionaire homes, you get to go for a swim as well, you can see all the islands, you can go to all the sandbars. There's so much stuff to do on a boat, there's so many places to visit. Now we couldn't actually see everything, even though we booked the boat for 3 hours, we couldn't get through everything. We mainly saw the millionaire homes, and then we basically stayed around like near the South Beach area and Key Biscayne. But yeah, definitely go on a boat and also a yacht party, you know what I mean, like at the same time. I mentioned it in the party thing. Obviously, if you're not into yacht parties, then definitely make sure you get a boat, because getting a boat is probably one of the main best things to do, especially seeing the city from a boat. It's just, yeah, it's different. It's so beautiful. Now, in at number 2 is the Vizcaya Museum and Gardens. Now, this is definitely like one of the top things you can see in Miami. Highly recommend it. Now, you need to book your tickets a day in advance online. You can't just turn up and rock up and buy your tickets there. You need to buy your tickets in advance. This is everything I read online. I didn't even try turning up without a ticket because everyone kept saying they got turned away, they couldn't buy a ticket there, they had to get a ticket in advance. Just buy your tickets in advance, save all that issue. Don't try seeing if you get a ticket on a day. Try to get a ticket in advance. But this is so highly recommended. It's basically an Italian mansion, but it's just so scenic. It's so nice. The gardens are nice, the inside is nice. It's probably one of the highlights of the top things we did see. It's probably one of the top things I'd recommend you go and see. It will take you probably about 2 hours to walk through the whole complex, and then from there, again, you can go literally anywhere. You can go to Brickell, you can go to Bayside Marketplace, you can go to Little Havana, grab lunch, and continue just seeing the city. But highly recommended. Now, pre-warning: if you go to the gardens, there are a ton of spiders, there's a ton of insects. We saw about 5 or 6 black widows, so just stay aware of that, especially if you're into spiders and stuff. But don't let that ruin your experience. Just don't go walking into all the bushes and stuff, because that's what we started doing. All these little paths, these narrow little paths through the bushes. Be aware that there are black widows and a ton of spiders. But again, if you say to like the main paths, you're not even gonna experience that. You are out in the wild. Miami's obviously got wild animals and insects, so just be aware of that. But highly recommend it. Now, at number 1, and this is the main thing you have to see if you go to Miami, and it's the Everglades. You have to go to the Everglades. You cannot go to Miami and not see the Everglades. It's about a 40-minute drive from South Beach. Just so you know, it's a national park, so when you go out there is no signal. So if you do book an Uber, be prepared to search for Wi-Fi or ask random people or whatever, because there is a chance you might go there and then end up being stranded. So yeah, if you're not driving your own car and you're getting an Uber, yeah, make sure you're going to a place that has Wi-Fi so you can get back. Otherwise, you're going to be stranded in the middle of the Everglades. But the reason the Everglades is number 1 on my list is because you can't see the Everglades anywhere else in the world apart from Florida. And yeah, no matter what, you're going to see the wildlife. You're going to see alligators, crocodiles, whatever. Because we went in an off-season, apparently a time where it's the hardest to find them because they're in the bushes, they're hiding away because of the heat and everything else. We still saw 3. We saw 1 baby one, two adults, and yeah, it's just I'd highly recommend it. It's not just that as well. Where else are you gonna get an airboat tour? You know what I mean? Where you sit on an airboat. It was just a great experience. One thing about the airboats though is when they give you the earbuds, make sure you pop them into your ears, because my mate, one of his earbuds fell out midway through and he said he was deaf for like 2 or 3 hours. So yeah, it's loud. Make sure you put the earbuds in. But yeah, like I said, make sure you either have your own transport or you're going to a park that literally advertises that they have Wi-Fi. There's so many parks you can book as well. Again, pre-book it online. You can also turn up. You don't need to pre-book it online, but if you book it in advance online, you'll know what you get, what's available. The place we went to, there was like a little wildlife show afterwards, so they showed us like crocodiles, they showed us a bunch of stuff. I mean, you can see it in the footage above. But yeah, let me know if I missed something off. These are just my personal opinions. This is what I'd recommend and what the top 10 things I did in Miami was. I'm going to be going to Istanbul in a little while, so I'll be doing a top 10 for Istanbul also when it comes down to it. And I will be making a ton more videos about Miami. Just ask me questions in the comments down below and I potentially could be making a few videos on that. And I'll see you in the next one.